Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick and we're looking at Earthshaker on the ZX Spectrum 48K, published by Your Sinclair in 1990, so yes, it was a cover tape rather than a commercial release. This is based on Boulderdash, so it's a Boulderdash clone which originally came out by First Star Software in 1984, so this was 6 years later. You don't control Rockford this time, but a very similar fellow. We'll see how we get on. There was an editor for this game that came out in 1991. Essentially, if you're unfamiliar with Boulderdash, we must go around a maze. Here we go. Collect all these diamond things without rocks falling on us. And if we cut a path beneath a rock, it'll fall down a bit like that. So you have to work out what's going to land on you and what isn't. Now, in certain stages, there are jelly beans you can collect as well, which will give you extra strength or time. And talking of time, oh dear, I'm dead. Talking of time, when it next comes up, you can see that there's a coloured bar along the bottom of the screen, and that represents your time ticking down, currently in white. So we can't hang around. There's bubbles as well that you can push to try and block the rocks. But essentially you can push anything as long as there's a gap. So if you cut a path outside these blue background, you can push stuff about as well. And that fire will kill you, although you can put out the fire by pushing a bubble into it. Have you got it? Well, I'm sure you'll get the gist of it quite soon. Now, once you've got all the diamonds, there'll be a sort of like a beep noise, and then you've got to find a door or a gateway, get to that, and then you're getting on the next level. Now, I always found these Boulderdash games quite tricky and struggled to get past a few levels. This is better than Boulderdash, but it did come out 6 years later, so you'd expect it to. Do check out my review of Boulderdash quite some time ago, and they milked it a little bit because there was quite a few sequels. Anyway, but this is nice and colourful, it plays quite well. Let's see if I can get off level 1. That's my own low standards to do this. So I'm not sure if you played this, because I'm not sure how available it would have been back in the day, just being on a cover tape, but there we go. I think you just heard a beep, didn't you? That means you've got to find the flashing door, and there it is. There it is. There we go. We're off level 1. Hooray! Now, it's going to get quite complicated now, I'm sure. Don't know how many levels this got. There we go. So, it already is complicated. There's a force field down there. Oh, that's gone, right? Lots of bubbles. Look out for rocks. They're now magenta. Don't want them falling on my head. Sometimes it gets very tricky to work out where they're going to fall. So, it's a question of just setting it up beneath the rocks themselves to see where they're going to fall. But you could be made to look very foolish in this game. It could be quite frustrating, like all Boulderdash clones are. So if you've got a favourite Boulderdash clone, let me know what that is. But quite simple gameplay to get into. This one's done really well. I like those flashing bubbles. They will never fall down. They float in. Like, there's some fire there. There's a diamond hidden between that. So if we push a bubble into the fire, which is a bit of a risky thing to do because I might walk straight into it. That should extinguish it. Oh, there we go. That wasn't the right thing to do, Nick. The bubble bath, this one's called. So each level has got its own name. It will give you a password as well once you've done each stage. You don't have to jump back to the beginning again. I should have looked up a poke for infinite lives here because I'm sure there is one. Because this is the first time I've played the game, and it's unlikely I'm going to get past the first few levels. Because yeah, it takes a bit of working out, and once you know how to do the level, you can do it every time straight away. It's just working it out in the first place. If you've completed this game, then let me know, as it was a cover tape from Your Sinclair. I'm not sure what other systems it come out on, if at all, but got a cool name, Earthshaker. Earth shaking, diddle, etc, etc. 1990, so quite well at the end of the Spectrum's commercial run, one would say. So they've probably given away some great stuff on cover discs at the time to try and keep people interested. Yes, I'm just trying to work this out now. Where are we going? Yes. Now this has been reviewed because of a recommendation, so thank you. Can't quite remember who recommended it, but it might have been quite some time ago. When someone recommends a game, I do add it to the list, and the list is huge. Huge and huge, so we might get to it soon, we might get to it a little while, we might get to it years later. Time of recording, we've almost reviewed 400 ZX Spectrum games, and just to give you a bit of an idea, on the list is probably another 200. Hooray! And it's growing. It's growing steadily. Excellent stuff. I haven't made the ultimate boo-boo yet, where I've reviewed a game where I've forgotten I've actually reviewed it. So I've reviewed it twice, but I'm sure that possibly could happen at some point. Goodbye, Fire. Fire falls down. Did you know that? Yeah. I'm not counting the revisited series, because there's quite a few games on the Amiga and the ZX Spectrum that I revisited, because when I first started out, I didn't really have a proper microphone and the sound weren't great, so I went over a few of my favourite games again. Right, I don't know what this guy's name is. I don't know if he's a friend of Rockford from the first game. We do not know. And as I'm recording it, the sun's now coming through the window into my face. That's making it extra super tricky. Oh, I need glasses. Oh, no. Right, I'll try and control it. Go away, son. That's it. I've got a peaked hat on now. I've just reached and grabbed it. There we go. You don't get this in normal commentating, do you? Yes. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's real. We like to keep it real here. Right, now. How am I going to get these without getting crushed? You're not, Nick. I think ideally I need to get to the bottom of those and just release them. Boof. Okay, right, we're going to do it this time, I'm sure. Like I told you the last time, it won't happen again. The bubble bath. I don't think I've had a bath for ages. That doesn't mean that I'm smelly. I'm more of a shower man. As a kid, I used to have a lot of baths, but it takes too much time now. Who's got time for a bath? Nice and relaxing, I suppose. Get some tea lights around, but just a shower. Tea lights in the shower don't seem to be quite as good. I don't know why, or relaxing, but quick shower, in and out, go. Very rarely does a rock fall on my head in the shower, but there's always a first time. Right, okay, this reminds me a little bit, this creature reminds me a little bit of that thing out of Puss, P3 S's and a T, from Ultimate Play the Game 1983. If you're unfamiliar with that game, you control a robot that goes around tending to a flower. We're dead. Not literally, so we'll have another go. Tending to a flower, and you must spray all the bugs and ensure that the plant flowers. Hooray. Right, let's go again. I forgot the password. I'm sure it gave me a password to level 2, didn't it? But I've forgotten it. Well done, Nick. You've done it again. Let's put anything in. That's bound to be it, isn't it? Woo! No, it wasn't it. Room for improvement. So level 1, we should rip through this, shouldn't we? 8-bit Boulderdash clone glory. If you know any other cool cover tapes for me to look at, then let me know. I mean, as a cover tape, this is a great game, isn't it, to get free with the magazine. I would have been very impressed with this one. But as I say, near the end of the Spectrum's run, so perhaps that's why. Bip. What happened to Your Sinclair? What was their last issue? Because did they turn into another computer magazine before then? Because ideally they would want to keep in business, wouldn't they? Maybe they're still running, I don't know. Oh no, Nicky, concentrate, concentrate. See, if you take these levels lightly, you don't give them respect, then you're going to die quite quickly. I can move that yellow block if there's a space for me to move it to. There we go, like that. So that hasn't outfoxed me. You don't get too much time to do each of these levels. It does go down quite quickly, so you can't hang around. Not very generous with the time at all. An addictive game. If you like Boulderdash, you'd like this. This is better than the Boulderdash from those few years earlier and its sequels. Some of those were a little bit monochrome, especially Boulderdash 2 and later on. The first one was miles the best. Then they just was like milking it. I think an editor come out, so people were maybe doing their own ones. There's some games I haven't reviewed because I don't think they're by the originators, like Boulderdash 4, 5 and 6. I thought that'd be a bit too much. It's on the review list, but I keep ignoring it. Maybe we'll drop it in every now and again as a bonus video just to show you. Right, that's a jelly bean. We can use them somehow, I think, for extra speed, but I don't want to bash into them. I don't think we need it at the moment. And we're going to get off level 1. So level 1's no problem, although I did lose one life there, didn't I? And it's back to the bubble bath. Splish splash, we've taken a bath. That don't even rhyme. Okay. The colours do change from level to level, which is a nice touch. And I first saw this effect in Manic Miner and Jet Set Willy. I do like that the diamonds are changing colour. You see there, they're not all the same colour. They're circling through a different few colours, I think cyan and magenta, which makes it look like it's sparkly and moving. And you can see the same with the bubbles as well. So that's very, very clever to code. Like it. Lots to like in this game. It's fairly basic, but you can get into it quite quickly. You know what to do, and then it's one of those ones where the frustration settles in. It's just a question of that, I want one more go, I want one more go to get it. I don't know if there's any modern day remakes of this on the PC or PlayStation 4. I don't think this would be a big sell on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The kids today tend to want all action and stuff. I don't think they'll really be sitting down with this, but you never know, there might be. Someone might have done a Boulderdash remake. It was a very popular game back in the day. Lots and lots of different clones out of it, which I've covered a few, but not a great deal. Right, okay, now, we seem to be making some distance here. Am I going to do it? Now, this looks like a tricky one to get below here without getting crushed. What's the way to do this? Yeah, I'm not sure. Is it possible to get that one? I'm not sure it's possible. How'd you do that? Yeah, because if you go in... Yeah, there's a clever way of doing that somehow. I've got to look at the time. It's gone into the dark blue and I'm dead. Yeah, that's going to happen sooner or later, isn't it? So you need to know a path, and then you need to speed. You've got no time to stop and think. So it's a game you're not going to complete. Not going to complete on your first few goes, if not your first 20 goes. I think this review is going to go on longer than I originally imagined. I was aiming for about 12 or so minutes, but it's going to go longer than that because I've got a few lives left. Let's see if we can get off level 2. Not promising anything. Oops. Yeah, that bubble can destroy that. Good, so that's got that one. I think that's supposed to be the last one to get. There's the yellow door we need to get to at the end once we've got all the crystals or the diamonds. But we're quite a way off doing that. Can move bubbles for fun. They can go through anything, although the rocks can't. I don't know who originally thought of the name Boulderdash or the gameplay. I don't know what the individual was sitting there. Like all these things back in the day, they probably didn't make that much money out of it, and some developer just stole the idea. But there you go, things were like that a bit like then. Have things changed? Well, a great deal. You can't just have one person sitting down writing a whole game from scratch anymore. Well, not that I'm aware of. It's all millions of pounds investments, and that's why you don't really get the creation you get anymore. You get your standard racing games, your standard shooters, and everything's pretty much the same all the time, really. Which is a shame. Your big franchises come in, no individuals making games like this. You won't get a Mrs. Mop on the PlayStation 4, I don't think. Time's already running out again on the red section, you can see. Right, okay. I don't think I'm gonna do this. Right, that's them all falling down. Can we get those? Maybe we can get them from this angle here. No, I got bopped again. I was almost there. I was so close. Right, one life left. Use your life wisely. Yeah, definitely need a few goes of this to progress. I'm sure level 3 and level 4 look fantastico. It's good that they got different names rather than just naming it level 1, 2 and 3. Adds a bit of life to the game, I think. Makes you feel like you're on a story or an adventure. Kids would have made up a lot. Kids would have made it a lot in their own mind. You didn't need to give them too much. Like quite often the ZX Spectrum game with a big convoluted story, but kids were happy to make up their own stuff. Right, okay. Right, we seem to be making good progress this time. Maybe this is the time we do it, but we know there's two awkward bits on it. One is that bit here, and the other bit is there on my left. If you've done this a few times before, you'll probably think this is very obvious. I've got away with that. That might be better. Can't hang around here. That's right. Okay. See the time ticking down. As I say, not much think time at all with this. But I think I'm getting to the point where about another 100 goes, I'll complete this without any bother. Can't have too many left, surely. There's that one there. Oh, these bubbles. I'm going to do something really stupid in a minute, I'm sure. Get that out of the way. Good. Definitely need that out of the way. In and out here. Oh no, not quick enough. And you're doomed. Game over again, game over. Well, I really like that. For a Covertape game, that's brilliant. I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Earthshaker, published by Your Sinclair in 1990 on the ZX Spectrum 48K. A rather cool cover tape based on the original game Boulderdash by First Star Software in 1984. Thanks for watching that as always. If you've got any comments about this game or anything similar, then please put that below. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that would be a big help, of course, if you haven't already. If you want to help the channel a little bit more, there's always patreon.com/njenkin. I'm always extremely grateful for any assistance you can give. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.